Welcome to the studios of the Hotness Unleashers show, where Arwyn Swanger shows up as the countdown timer is almost at an end. Welcome, Arwyn. Joelle and Kevin and I have been wondering where you are, but there you are.
I had
right
to
here.
Troubleshoot. I ran into some errors with my LinkedIn. It didn't recognize me.
Oh no!
It was really weird. Yeah, one of those weird things.
Yes.
Hey, when that happens.
Sometimes when I have my computer and I've got too many windows or too many tabs open, and I'll fire it up first thing in the morning, LinkedIn will say, "Oh, very sorry, you've had too many requests, and we're shutting you off." I'm like, I got to go on my phone or whatever. But alas, welcome everybody. This is the 13th episode of the Hotness Unleashers show, and I, for one, am thrilled that we have put together the recruiter edition, because the news is awful. All right. And we can just come together, experience a little bit of joy on, on a Saturday morning, and see what we can do to help people move through, some turbulent times, right? These aren't news stories, but they got worse this week. And I think our timing is just perfect to come together. So a couple of housekeeping items, and then we are going to hit the road fast, because we have 15 Hotness Unleashers to announce today on this show, and I am so pumped. All right, so the first thing is, what is Hotness Unleashing? Hotness Unleashing happens when we pay attention to other people and their work in an intentional way, right? It's about gratitude. It's about support. It's not complicated. It's not weird. It's just a couple of words I made up with the help of Red Stavestrom and Julie Morey and Kate Smoothie. And here we are. Okay. It's just a time to celebrate other people. The second thing I need to do is to call out my employer, Infuse Media, with a great thank you. And in the interest of our theme today on recruitment, we are hiring, believe it or not. We are not laying off at this moment, and we haven't had any layoffs through this whole turbulent time. And you can see here's a few jobs in North America. We are also hiring in EMEA and Latin America and APAC. Very similar types of roles: content writers, copywriters, SDRs, sales, demand strategists. So that's actually happening. Now, with that, housekeeping is complete. Joelle, I'm going to pass it to you to give us a couple of bits on who you are, what brings you to LinkedIn, and what you're excited about right now.
Hey, everyone. As you can see, I am a cowboy. No, I'm just kidding. I'm a recruiter, everyone, for JP Morgan Chase. I recruit for compliance roles, and I've built a pretty large following on LinkedIn. Just sharing my stories, my insight as a recruiter. And, I stumbled across your show. I think you may have actually given me a shout out a few months ago, and actually got me a lot of exposure. And I was personally touched, because it showed me that the work and content that I was creating was having an impact, that it would end up on a great show like this. And I thought to myself, I would love to be on that show one day. And here I am, coming to you live from the Wild West. So
I love it, Joelle. That's fantastic. Awesome, man. I remember very pointedly bringing you into a post about a whole bunch of recruiters. And I got to say, you're the first Hotness Unleasher guest I've had on the show who has come from the Wild West. I love the hat, man.
I was hoping that would be true. So if you haven't had the chance after the show, please check out Job Seeker Saturday. It's a networking post that I make with 40 recruiters tagged, and others posting as well. It's a great opportunity if you are searching for a job to connect with not just myself, but many other recruiters.
I love that post, man. It gets so much engagement. It's just perfect. It's a great movement, and here we are all in this together. So yeah, absolutely support that and get it rolling. And Jamie, if you could throw up a link, that would be fantastic. Appreciate that, man. Okay, Kevin, what do you got cooking?
Hello, everyone. My name is Kevin Grunewald. I've been in recruitment for almost 15 years. Currently, I'm with GE Renewable Energy on the wind, hydro, and LM wind side. So we do a lot of stuff with blades, wind turbines. So that's my niche. And when I'm not helping people there, I'm doing a lot of job seeker stuff, job seeker support on LinkedIn.
Now, Kevin, the thing that I've been noticing about you kind of on LinkedIn lately, and actually since I very first came across you months ago, is that, yeah, okay, so you're recruiting for like mega technical roles, right, that are just super niche, and there's probably not a lot of humans on this planet who going to fit those requirements. But you're still here, man. I mean, you're still like actively working and engaging. I see you on my stuff all the time. Like literally just all constantly and like just hitting it. And I just want to say thank you, right? It's like, it really helps. It just, I think it raises the profile and that sort of ripple effect that you're having with, not just the people you're trying to recruit into, but everybody else who's in it, right? To know that you're part of the fabric here. So I'm super pumped that you're able to come today, and really appreciate it. And who's not down with renewable energy stuff? I mean, it's here, right? We gotta take it seriously, and ready to roll. So with that, thanks for coming. Totally appreciate it. And yeah, I'm excited to get going here. So Arwyn, in the nick of time.
Yep. So I'm Arwyn Swanger. I work at Ultranauts Inc. We are a company founded on significant diversity and inclusion principles. 75% of us are neurodivergent. The majority of us are also autistic. So I absolutely love it. We are looking for a senior data quality analyst. We will also be hiring for senior data quality engineers, engagement managers, all of that coming up in Q1 after January. But I would love to help anybody who's looking for work. I also am a resume writer, so you will constantly see me share about that. And I do a lot of stuff about mental health, survival, being a domestic violence survivor. I talk a lot about trying to use your voice as a positive to help others and empower others.
When I found you for the first time in a recruiter roundup post that I did a while back, I was so stoked because you were just out there with this whole neurodivergent message and support, and really a champion for DEI, and that's such a big deal in this current job market right now. I mean, Jamie was kind enough to show me this post that came up by a woman in our network, and I can't remember her name off the top of my head, but it got like 12 million views or something ridiculous, and like off the charts, like something that could never probably ever be repeated. And the first comment that LinkedIn showed me was this ding dong who was all about everybody's got to be in the office because employers rule, right? I'm just like, man, look, Infused Media is a virtual company. Okay.
Yeah.
Get with the time. Get with it.
I have my own opinion on that. I'm kind of somebody that just says what needs to be said without apologizing. But if you're a recruiter and you're hiring for remote roles, but you require somebody to live in a certain state or a certain area, it's not a fucking remote role. Can you just remember that? Remote is remote, right? Like you said, your work is remote. You will not go in. Ultranauts, we're fully remote. I will never go to a building to work with Ultranauts. We will always be remote in US and Canada. So people need to get with the times. It is almost 23. We are in still a pandemic. We are still dealing with a mental health crisis. We are still dealing with veterans and people that have been historically marginalized being unemployed. We're right before the holidays. Some of these companies that are forcing you to come in are so whitewashed that you cannot understand where their principles even lie anymore. So we really need to make that positive change, and we need to help empower others and make remote the norm. That's really what it is now.
Fantastic. I love just to hit that, right? And I love the fact that LinkedIn, I'm going to say this because if you need to swear on this show, green light, because guess what? There are no kids on LinkedIn. They hate LinkedIn. My kids will not come here. Right? This is not a kid-friendly environment. Why? Because our content bores them to death.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yes. So that I don't know if anybody's noticed that, but literally the youngest human I've ever met here is 17 going on 18 going on like 30. Okay. And there are no 9-year-olds hanging out posing as it just isn't happening. So go for it. Be yourself, let it roll. And I'm here to just love as many people as I possibly can in a real way. All right. So that said, we have work to do. All right. We need to announce our Hotness Unleashers, explain why. Now I have slides that correspond. It's going to take me a second to get them all up and running. And what we're going to do is we're going to go around the circle. So it'll be Joel, it'll be Kevin, and then Arwyn, and then me. And then I'm going to go to Jamie, right? So Jamie, you need to get ready. And then he's going to announce one of his own. And then we're going to do it again. And then we're going to go to Gretchen. And then we're going to do it again. And then we're going to conclude with Kristen. So with that, we have 15 people to announce. All right. That means that the mic is going back to you, Joel. Who is your first Hotness Unleasher?
All right. So my first Hotness Unleasher I want to give a shout out to is Malachi Horton. So I met Malachi on a different live stream that I was on, and just he has such positive energy. He gives out free Starbucks gift cards to people, which I thought was an interesting angle that I have never considered doing. I really love the yellow branding that he uses. Yellow is actually my favorite color. So I think he's a great follow, and he doesn't have as many followers as I know he's going to get to. And I want to help boost that and get him some exposure because I really think he's creating some good content, and I want to encourage more people to do what he's doing. So he's the first person I want to give a shout out to.
Man, I want to say a couple things too. And if Kevin and Arwyn, if you got a chance to take a look at Malachi last night or over the past week, I'd love to hear from you guys as well. But listen, I go out to his site and I'm thinking, yes, the yellow, man, that hits hard. And it hits because his shirt matches, right? And the whole, like his whole theme. And I've really tried to do that too, right? So it's like, I kind of go with this turquoise black or turquoise orange kind of look. And I do think it's important, right? It's a part of this whole brand thing, you know? So for me, again, it's like the turquoise, the glasses and the hat, right? It's all part of this thing you're trying to, you know, dive into. And then Malachi does this dance. He's got a TikTok and he's dancing. And it's awesome, right? I mean, what can you say about that? And another guy in our community, Daniel Gasser, likes to dance too. So it was totally great last night. I just was able to introduce those two dudes, and Daniel jumped on, and now they know each other, and they're both dancing fools. So I'm all about that. Kevin, Arwyn, did you guys get a chance to check out Malachi's stuff at all?
Yeah, I love Malachi's profile. I will just say I resonate with the squirrel. I always say, like, with my neurodivergency, it's like you see something shiny, it's like, oh, squirrel, you know, go over there, you know, it just gets your attention. So I was instantly drawn to the profile. I absolutely think it's great.
See that? Okay. Sometimes I can't even talk. All right. Okay. What I love so much is that I didn't even see the squirrel. Never once till you just said it, right? Like literally never even like, okay, I see it now. I caught squirrel. Okay, I got that. I was just totally fixated on the yellow and the dance and all that. Squirrel thing just, right? But I love that that's what you saw, right?
Yep.
And that's the power of this thing, right? Now we can just highlight it all. So Malachi, you are our first Hotness Unleasher of the week. Congratulations, sir. Welcome to the community. All right, Kevin, let's go with your first Hotness Unleasher. Uh-oh, we're back. We're mirrored. I got you on mute, Kev.
Shoot.
That's okay. All right, we got
Annie Krekeler. I work with her at GE. Yeah,
there you are.
So she's we pretty much hit the ground running with LinkedIn, trying to build our brand at GE together. And you know, we do a lot of stuff with Social Saturday. We do a lot of stuff with job seekers. So she's been fantastic. Someone to really get to know if you know, if anyone's looking for work. She's over Grid Solutions. She's over Wind with me. So if anyone's looking for work, definitely reach out to her or myself. But yeah, she's awesome. She's definitely, a bright light.
Now, how long have you guys worked together?
About 9 months.
9 months. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So,
Nice. Now, my I have a son who is getting his computer science degree, and he has a stated goal of working for a renewable energy company of some kind. So I gotta hook this up. He's looking for a summer internship, just plugging my own kid, a little nepotism going on right there. I mean, why not? So if anybody knows about, summer internships with companies that are involved in, renewable energy that need computer science guys, let me know. Cause I got one who's living in my basement right now. Awesome. So I saw Annie, I see her all over, just like you, Kevin. I mean, literally all the time, and just like hitting it. And, this morning, well, as I was cruising around, I actually saw her in the wild, believe it or not, on a post that, that I wasn't tagged in, and that, and I'm like, oh, I want to say something so bad. I just want to you're going to be on this, you're going to get there. But I resisted. So, I didn't say anything. It was hard though. And, yeah, I see her all over. I love this. She did a poll recently where she asked everybody, like, what was Nigeria's, what was it, the renewable energy source, right? And it was a solar or hydro or a couple others, and it turned out everybody said solar, and it was actually hydro. So
yeah.
So I thought that was cool. Like what a creative way to kind of get people engaged and get them to ask questions and I don't know, just think different, think bigger, right? And then tie it back to your employer, right? And this is kind of, the business you guys are interested in and handling. So Joelle or Arwyn, do you guys know Annie? Have you worked with her at all?
I do not know Annie. I just know that we are connected on LinkedIn. So I do see a lot of her content, and I absolutely love it. I always like it or try to comment or engage somehow with it.
Yeah, I would love to see her live somewhere or something like that, because my only image is this one right here. I haven't seen any other images of Annie, so can't wait to get to know her better. All right, Annie, congratulations. You are our Hotness Unleasher for Kevin. All right, so Arwyn, it is to you.
Okay, so my first one is the one and only Dan Roth. He is my buddy. I call him like my adoptive big brother. He's also neurodivergent. I met Dan a year ago. He was actually one of my very first people that I connected with on LinkedIn. And Dan actually is the reason why I was able to come up and start talking, being very openly about being let go from work before because of my disability with my neurodivergency. And he helped me be able to be strong enough to talk about like the things that I've gone through. And so he is somebody that I will always send anybody and everybody to that just needs like that positive light in their life. He's a really great person. And he's helped me out in so many ways. Like I'll start crying, and I don't want to start crying on the live. So, but he's a really great guy.
Hey man, we can cry, we can swear, we can be ourselves in any given moment. So if that's what happens, I invite it. Kevin, Joelle, have you guys met Dan or know him?
So I haven't met him, but when I was starting to establish myself on LinkedIn, he's one of those people that was very visible. And just when you do this, there are people that set a blueprint. There are people that do things that you observe and you're like, hey, I like that. And I know he does job seeker posts. I don't know if I ever participated in any directly, but I know they're in the back of my mind. And now I have my own job seeker threads that I do. So it wouldn't be fair, for me not to give him credit as somebody that helped influence that. So even though I don't know him personally, I can see why he's on here. I'm actually surprised he hasn't already been on here, to be honest.
Well, I'm glad we caught him then. I am so glad we caught him. Kevin, have you run into Dan at all?
It's actually the same exact reason as Joel. So
perfect. Yeah. Now I've got something to say. All right, because I didn't know Dan until last night, right? And I still don't know him, but here's what comes to me. You got to see his profile, what the hell they call these things now, the video behind the profile pic. It is hilarious. You got to turn the sound on, and his avatar is lip syncing to a Chris Isaac song or something like. I mean, it's so dumb, but it's so perfect. It's just like irreverent, and that's what I got from Dan when I saw his profile, and when I look at this and I think about how he comes across, he's in that space of confidence, right? And of just like owning himself, owning who he is and what he's about, and putting it out there and saying, listen, guess what? I'm not afraid. This is what it is. This is who I am. And you can take it. There's no leaving it. You guys gotta, this is what I'm about. And just personified by the awesomeness of that profile video. I mean, just that, just so good. Yeah, somebody's got to. Will somebody go look at it in the comments and chime in on it, because I was just
Dan.
I couldn't stop laughing.
Dan is really one of a kind. And like I said, he was one of the very first people that I met on LinkedIn. But he was also one of the first people that I was able to really engage with and talk about surviving the sexual assault. I was still trying to come to terms with everything that was going on, and I was going through a divorce, and I had survived some pretty dark shit, and when the assault happened in March of 2021, by April, I was ready to take my own life. Like, I was done, ready to exit this planet. I had everything planned. And I met my boyfriend, and then we went through homelessness. And then right after that, I met Dan on LinkedIn. And so as I'm going through the court and I'm trying to get these charges pressed, and I'm going through the divorce, and I'm literally being torn apart in a fucking public courtroom because I'm pansexual and because I'm neurodivergent and because I spoke up and said enough is enough, I was made to be this horrible person. I had to go through a whole fucking legal name change. I was not born Arwyn. My other name is just dead. It doesn't exist anymore. But Dan was one of the first people that I talked to. And because I was able to talk and I was able to see the things that he was sharing, and the fact that he was talking about women empowerment, literally, I have gotten messages in my inbox about people's dicks being hard. And I have literally reached out to Dan and said, Dan, please, I need your help. Just like that. It was taken care of. No questions. The employer was contacted. Dan is the person you need to have in your back pocket. He is a friend. He is a brother for life. He is somebody that I will always look up to. He truly is one of my role models. And I encourage everybody to really talk to him. He's a great guy.
Okay. Done. Dan, you're the hero, man. I love it. Thank you for sharing that story. Those stories are brutal. And I'm so thankful that you feel like this is a safe space for you to share that, because I try to create that. As much as we try to be a little bit fun and silly and goofy, I also want it to be safe. And so welcome, and thank you for sharing. All right, so with that, we're just gonna take it down a notch. And I'm going to get into, my first Hotness Unleasher is going to be none other than Adam Spacht. And it is not complicated. It is all about the quality of this show, because I don't know Adam that well, but he and I have crossed paths many, many times over the last few months. And I got this brand new mic. Okay. And I was struggling with it, right? I can see that Joel has the same, has a Rode mic too, or at least he's got a pop filter that says Rode on it. And I got it because Carissa Carner's voice was so amazing. And so I was doing some testing earlier this week, and I couldn't hear it, right? I couldn't hear the sound quality. And it was so frustrating for me. and nobody was really giving me the feedback that I needed. Right. And I needed somebody to say, dude, your sound quality sounds like shit. It doesn't sound like it's supposed to sound. Okay. And Adam did. All right. Adam stepped up and says, man, there's something wrong. You have got something messed up. I don't know what it is, but it's not right. And so, it's not like this massive, thing, but it was important to me. I asked for help and he gave me help in a real way. And I hope that it's translating to a better experience on this show right now, right? That my voice is coming through cleaner and better. And I just want to say, thanks to Adam, for that, and to acknowledge just how he has been over the last few months with me in terms of engaging and constantly being available. So with that, Adam, you are my first Hotness Unleasher of the week, which means that we now are going to go to Jamie Edwards. All right, Jamie, it is your moment. Bring it up, buddy. Let's go. I am ready for you, Jamie. While we're waiting for Jamie, because I think that there's a slight delay, and that's okay.
Well, while we wait, I did want to say your audio sounds great. And I'm a person that's done podcasts, YouTube channel. And it's a lesson that I had to learn because my audio quality was crap at first. And now that high quality audio makes people want to stay. It makes them feel like you're in their living room. It's warm. It's inviting. And now when I hear that bad audio, it makes me, I do this. It makes
I know. I hear you. Okay. So not to cut you off, Joel, I really appreciate that support, but we are looking at Bryan Sagray, none other than, all right, I got to find his slide here. Come on. It's in here because I made it. Here we go. So Bryan is all in on LinkedIn. If you don't know Bryan, get to know him. All right. Because this guy, he's all over, right? Literally, he's all over the place. And I don't know how it was. And originally, because it took me a while to before he finally really cracked in. But when he did into my space, he was all there and he was doing a show and it was so good. And now he's just constantly all over the place. And it was so fun last night. He posts about making friends on LinkedIn. Right. And I call that LinkedIn 2.0, or, we can call it Social Saturday or whatever you want to call it. And it was awesome because every single person that had responded by the time I showed up was a friend of mine, first name basis, everybody. And it's yeah, okay, we are really integrated now. Right. And I know, he was talking about, he talks about taking some heat about, being a doctor and why do you need to bother being on LinkedIn and so on. And screw that. We all need friends. We all need love. We all want to be able to support each other no matter what our individual jobs are. And I just think that Bryan is a contributor, a supporter, engaged, and love having him in my community. Have you guys met Bryan? Have you hung out with him at all?
I have. Yeah. He's awesome. He's I call him the engagement king. So if anyone out there is, who's new to LinkedIn, who's wanting to learn how to, engage and, maybe people that are, introverted, he's definitely a great resource.
Awesome. All right. So Bryan, you are officially a Hotness Unleasher now, and it's taken a while to get you on the list, but dude, you're in the club. Welcome aboard. All right. Now we're going to go to round 2. So that means the floor is to you, Joel. Who is your second Hotness Unleasher?
All right. So my second Hotness Unleasher is going to be Brittany Campbel. And I want to give her a shout out because I know she recently started a LinkedIn audio show. And I just remember how candid she was that her first one, it didn't go well, but that she wasn't going to give up and she learned so much. And I was like, you know what? That right there is the energy that more people need. You need to try and you need to fail to then see how to fail a little less. Kind of like we just talked with the audio. It comes through experience. It comes through the courage of doing it. And I just see her continuously sharing knowledge and being purposeful about being consistent with providing insight. and just how few followers she has relative to the sort of value that she's providing, I think she needs more exposure because she's definitely unleashing some hotness.
Awesome, man. I loved getting to know her. Kevin, Arwyn, have you guys met Brittany yet? Do you know her?
Yeah, actually, I've talked with her periodically. So she posts a lot on my I do Thursday career coach and resume writer posts to kind of help, give job seekers some direction if they need it. And she's been on there pretty consistently. She's pretty awesome.
Awesome. I love to hear that, like, not only does she engage in like being her own personal creator, right? Creating her own stuff, but then going out and supporting what your stuff is, right? And engaging. It's not lost on me that by doing this show, right? By creating the show, this is kind of where my energy goes. It's harder for me to get out and to comment on other stuff. And I think I pay a little bit of a price for that, but it's brilliant to know that that's how you know her, right? You know her by how she engages with your stuff. And that in mind, when I went out to her and I took a moment just to say, okay, Brittany, what are you about? What is your deal? She showed evidence of digging deep, right? Of saying like, hey, what can I do? What can I offer with my, 1,640 to my 1,641 followers, right? What can I do? And so she's got this, like, she's doing a drawing today, right? She's going to do six LinkedIn profile or resume reviews. And, she announced this like a little contest, right? Just like, hey, if you want to be part of the drawing, whatever. Like, okay, cool. Right. Like, let's do that. Let's be creative and see what we can bring. And that's what she has to offer. And she's doing it. And, hats off. So Brittany, welcome to the club. You are a Hotness Unleasher. Love it. Okay. Which means we are now going to you, Kevin. Who is your second Hotness Unleasher?
So I'm going to do David Alto.
Okay.
I think out of everything I see on LinkedIn, as far as content, as far as videos, inspirational, just out of the box stuff, to really get your mind wandering. I think he posts some really awesome stuff. He is a career coach, resume writer. He's kind of a jack of all trades with that on that side. So yeah, he's definitely inspired me to post more insightful things, and you should give him a follow.
Absolutely. Thank you for bringing him. Arwyn, Joel, do you know David at all?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I'm familiar, but it looks like a lot of people are.
Yeah. So I came across him, I don't know, a while back. It's been a couple of months or so. He and I haven't really engaged too much. I see him show up every now and then on my stuff. Dude is a content machine, right? He is kicking out new content. I don't know, 3 or 4 or 5 times a day. It's like a constant flow of new stuff. And that, that takes energy, and it takes time to produce and to have, any kind of engagement with 94,000 followers is, that's hard to sustain. So, hats off to David. He's just launched a new LinkedIn course, which looks pretty cool. So he's talking a lot about that. But my favorite story. All right. So he didn't respond, didn't bite on it, but I was kind of embarrassed because if you go into his profile, so the first thing I saw is from Kennewick, Washington. All right. So that's in Eastern Washington State. And it's literally, I don't know, less than 100 miles from Washington State University, which is the arch nemesis of University of Washington. Okay. Well, when I reached out to him, I'm like, hey, go Cougs, because that's WSU. And I'm a fan of that team. Well, it turns out he went to the UW. So he went to University of Washington, which means he probably is not a Cougar fan. But he took my connection request anyway. And I appreciated that. And so, David, you are definitely a Hotness Unleasher. Welcome to the club, man. Appreciate you, all the work that you do. All right. Arwyn, we are to you. So who is your second Hotness Unleasher?
Her name is Cassie Greenwood. She is an incredible person. She is also neurodiverse. She actually had me help her with her resume and her cover letters. In less than 2 weeks after doing that, she was able to start getting some interviews, and she just accepted a job offer. So she is a good friend of mine. She's very much into spiritual, being the best version of yourself, and really advocating for other neurodiverse individuals. So she's a friend of mine and somebody that I definitely think that everybody should definitely connect with.
Okay. I love it. Joelle, Kevin, do you guys know Cassie?
I do not know.
Okay.
But,
well, you do now.
I do
Game on.
now.
I do now.
Perfect. All right. So I got 2 bits to say. Love the profile pic background because, I'm all about the turquoise or any shade of turquoise in that background. Digging that. The other thing I wanted to mention is I did see that Cassie accepted a job recently. And as I dug deeper, what I saw was that her strategy for dealing with being out of work was totally rad and something I resonate with absolutely, which is make yourself better, right? Upskill. And so she invested in upskilling on LinkedIn and taking courses as a way just to kind of keep her mind engaged and stay out of that, right? And that feeling of being defeated, like, okay, I'm just going to build and build and build until it hits. And guess what? All right.
She's literally gone through some shit, you guys, like the last few days, and constantly positive, just everything she can do, she sees that positive light. And, cheesehead, she loves being from Wisconsin, loves everything about agriculture. But she's been working part-time and she had been struggling. So she was freelancing and then still putting her content and still upskilling and still trying to be her best version. So she's definitely a powerful woman.
Awesome. Well, I love that we can, in the same show, right? We can highlight Cassie, we can highlight David, we can highlight Dan, like this is what it's about, right? It's like who is actually making, these impacts on us, regardless of follower counts, regardless of all that stuff, right? Because we're all just human in the end, no matter how many followers you have, right? And so, yeah, I love it. Thank you for sharing her. Cassie, you are a Hotness Unleasher. Okay, so back to me. Now I am going to go with an easy one. And it's going to be, I just got to find the slide here. It's going to be Melissa Houston, of course, right? Because we had it in real life this week. What else can you ask for, right? There we are. I modified the picture a little bit. We are actually together in a coffee shop in Bellingham, Washington, of all places. So she lives here in Bellingham. And you know what? She's got stories too, right? She's got deep, hard stories that make that take time to process. Okay. But when you, and she likes to talk about, like she's sparkly and stuff. And she is like, literally, like when you meet her in person, she does have that sparkle, right? It is there. There is a twinkle literally in her eye. And it's hard to see, right? When in a digital environment. So this is a shout for if you have a chance to meet in real life, a person who you wouldn't otherwise know or have only met here, take it, right? Take that chance. It has not backfired on me at all. Everybody has been totally rad, including Melissa. And, Melissa and I have been friends now for, since the beginning of the Social Saturday movement. And it's about damn time that I got her in on this show. So, I want just to say shout out thanks for meeting me in real life. And I can't wait to do it again and hang out and be friends. Cause that's what we're all about. So Melissa, you are my Hotness Unleasher, second round. All right. Now I can't remember if I said I was going with Kristen or Gretchen. Do you guys remember who I said was going to go first? Because that's who's up. Kevin, you're on mute.
I think you mentioned Gretchen.
Was I going to go with Gretchen first? Okay, Gretchen, it is time to announce your Hotness Unleasher of the week. Bow, 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 bow. We got that coming. All right, Gretchen, you're on. Bow, bow, bow. We got some songs. You know, I do listen to music in my headphones while this is all rolling because they don't have I think Gretchen might be taking a snoozer. Okay, Kristen, it's to you. Gretchen, you're on hold. Kristen, name your Hotness Unleasher because I can see you're here. Here we go. And then we're going to be on hold for Gretchen. Come on. This is the first time we've actually had the Comment Bandits do their own Unleasher, so I know I'm going to have to figure this out. But in any case, okay, Kristen, go. Oh, wait. Okay, there we go. Okay, Gretchen's in. Tanya Bugbee. Here we go. All right. Now, if you don't know Tanya, she is, and it might be Tanya, but I haven't met her in real life. So, and I haven't been corrected on the proper pronunciation. I'm trying to find her slide here. I apologize that this is a little bit clunky, isn't it? But we'll get there. We'll get there. It's all about having fun and showing the love. There we go. There we go. There's Tanya. All right. So here's Tanya has shown up in my world in a bigger way, but I know why Gretchen is calling her out right now. It's because they just literally did a show together, right? Which is totally helping and getting out and doing that, operating in that layer where like super connection. And in fact, like with Gretchen yesterday, for example, she just gave me like this mini coaching course, like just like on the spot, just like ready to go. And Tanya's sort of in that same space too. It's like, hey, if we're talking and we're live, I'm not going to hold back. Right. And so I see Tanya supporting all of the Hotness Unleasher content that's going out and all the promotion and is constantly in the comments and just really being a voice for positivity and, you know, and support of everybody in this community. So Tanya, you are an official Hotness Unleasher. Do any of you guys, have you met her yet? Have you come across her yet?
I have. She's also commented on my career coaching job seeker connection post. So yeah, she's pretty awesome.
Awesome. All right. Well, Tanya, welcome to the official club. Love that you are here. All right. So we're in the final round of the Hotness Unleasher show. We're getting there. And I think we are on pace. I love it. I haven't gotten any rants from Jamie that I'm going too slow. So we are in business. All right. So Joel, who is your final Hotness Unleasher of the week?
All right. So my final Hotness Unleasher for the week is Liddy Pearson. And I want to give her a shout out. I met her back in April before my LinkedIn page really took off. And I had a very productive conversation with her where she told me she saw the content I was posting and gave me props and encouraged me to keep doing it. And, you know, as my page grew, she was always supportive. And now I see her being very consistent and purposeful about creating her own content, creating job seeker events and resources. And I know she has a lot of connections that are of value. So I wanted to give her more exposure because I think it would benefit a lot of people. And, you know, I mean, she unleashes hotness. She helped unleash hotness in me, in all honesty. So I wanted to give her a shout out.
Awesome. I love it. And before I totally take this over, Kevin, Arwyn, have you guys met Liddy? Have you seen her around?
She's also commented a little bit on my career coach job seeker posts. And then she also has a career growth academy, which is pretty neat that she does.
Okay. I see that now. Now it's just a classic, right? The squirrel with Malachi, and now this. Like, I didn't see that, but I do have something to say, right? And that's that Liddy is making great content, and I saw it last night, and I got so pissed off that she's not getting any engagement. All right. So to the Hotness Unleasher community, anybody that's here, would you just go reach out to Liddy, ring her bell, all right? Give her some love because she's making good content, okay? She truly is, and she's there every single day, as far as I can tell. And if you don't get engagement with your content, you will burn out. All right. We need that. Okay. So Liddy, I just want to make a personal, just outreach to you right now on the spot here. If you listen to this, if you're here live, or if you are, listening to this on replay, listen, I saw your content. I like your content. I'm going to ring that bell, because we all need to get engagement with our stuff. And because again, if we don't get that, we die, right? We cannot continue. We can't do content in a vacuum. I did it for a really long time. I made really crummy content, right? For a long time, and nobody engaged with it. And you know, I learned from that, but still everybody's support when I put something up, and you know, you get a few comments and stuff, and like, you need that, you deserve that. And the content you're putting out there is solid. I appreciate it. And in fact, you have like one of the first things that came up, you've got like a TikTok baby dancing. It's something that you engage with. And I keep meaning to go back to that. I know it's not your own post, but still it was funny. And I want to see that. And in any case, Liddy, you are an official Hotness Unleasher, and this community will come around you and will support you. Okay. That's going to happen. So welcome to the club, and wait and see what happens to your content as this crew comes around you in love and support. Okay. So where are we now? I've lost track. Who's next? Is it to you, Kevin? Yes, I think so. Kevin.
Yep.
Who's your second? Who's your final Hotness Unleasher? I get so excited. I just, you know. Okay, go.
Of course. My final Hotness Unleasher is going to be Zach Hill. Zach Hill is pretty awesome. He does a couple things. He's in the IT space. He also has a introductory to entry level IT for anyone wanting to get into the IT field. He also has a YouTube channel going through that step by step. So he's definitely someone to connect with for anybody that's out there that's looking to, you know, maybe if they're just lost, right? And they just need some direction, and they want to some way or somehow get into the IT field. He's definitely a good person to check out.
Arwyn, did you get a chance to take a look at Zach Hill? Do you know him at all?
I don't know him, but I just sent him a connection request. So
awesome.
Hopefully he'll see that.
And it looks like we lost Joe. Oh, he's back.
I'm back. Sorry, I had a kid knocking at my door and I had to shoo him off.
Yeah. I know how it goes, man. I know.
It's the Wild West out here.
It's all good. All right. So Joel, do you know Zach Hill at all? Have you met him?
I feel like I've seen his content, but I don't know him personally. Okay.
All right. So I went out last night, you know, in preparation for this, and I spent a little time with this content, and it's edgy, right? It's got a kind of an old school kind of MTV vibe to it. It's definitely got like a produced sort of quality to it. And that is a step up, right? It isn't just homebrew. It's got an angle on it, and that's pretty rare, to be honest, from people who are kind of in sales and have that kind of a role. And you know, he talks about being that, and it's good. And I am excited to get to know him better. And you know, I'm not looking to create an IT future or an IT career in my life right now, but I appreciate good content when I see it. I appreciate the form, you know, like you said, Joel, like having a good, audio is critical. And I think having an eye for how to, put stuff together so that it's modern and edgy and well produced is a skill. And Zach definitely has it. So, and I also appreciate that he's very transparent about his history, that he dropped out of high school and basically self-taught. Everything that his entire career has been, self-taught. That's something, that's a big deal. And that he's able to, be employed, in this world with just that is totally rad. So Zach, you are a Hotness Unleasher. All right. Welcome to the club. So Arwyn, Mike's to you.
Yes.
Who you got?
So my final Hotness Unleasher is the one and only Mr. Gabe Leal. He is somebody else that y'all need to get to know and go on his podcast, Unfiltered Live. I actually did an interview with him on there, and he and I had talked prior to it. He's like, you know what, let's make this happen. And I said, I'll show up. I said, I'm probably going to fucking cry. I'm going to show up and I'm going to say this or that. Had me come on and I talked about everything, shared my story, talked about the things that were going on. And Joel is he's become a great friend, huge advocate for other people, very much into advocating for positive mental health. But he's somebody great to talk to, and his show is so much fun. It was pretty fun to sit on there and just be, slamming my orange sodas that I like to slam down on video. So everybody should definitely get to know him. He's a really great guy. His Unfiltered Live show is one of a kind. I've never been on a show so much fun.
Very cool. Very cool. Not as fun. I mean, I can't imagine
it's not like the Unleashers.
Okay.
It's not as cool as the Unleashers, but it's right
just
there.
Remember where we are.
Yeah, it's right there. It's right
I love it. All right, man. All right. So Kevin, Joel, have you guys met Gabe or hung out with him with his content at all?
I have not.
Okay. Joel?
I have not, but there's so many things I'm seeing immediately that I love, like the king of LinkedIn Live. Let me tell you something.
Mm-hmm.
There's not actually a governing body that coronates you the king of LinkedIn Live. But me seeing that, I already think, wow, this guy must have a really cracking LinkedIn Live audio. So that's the power of that branding.
Mm-hmm.
And I think everyone could take a lesson from that. Just the king of LinkedIn Live. What are you the king of or the queen of or whatever you want to be of, and own that brand, make it pop.
I hear it, man. I mean, it's legit. I did go out and I listened to his show for a while last night, and I gotta tell you, Gabe, bro, you take it to another level. All right. I mean, I've got this show dialed in where I want it right now. And Kristen Spencer, right? So she offered me a branded countdown to enter, and then we're gonna have a branded count up to exit, so we don't clip the end. That's an improvement. That's continual improvement. The mic is better, right? That's continual improvement. But Gabe, like, he's got all this crazy, music background stuff going on. He's got sound effects going on. He's got a dialed in mic. He's got this. I've been listening to Tony Albrecht's podcast lately in Linky Land, and he's super chill, right? Just like super, just down tempo. And I love that about him. And Gabe kind of brings the same vibe, right? He's just like, okay, guys, we're just gonna take it down a notch, and we're gonna just be at this, I don't know, at a level that the Hotness Unleashers show does not operate at, right? I'm just trying to take it up and out, and these guys are just like, we're over here, which is totally awesome, and it's hard to pull off, and it's they're doing it. And when I saw that last night, I'm thinking, okay, how do I integrate all these different video components? And I was inspired, right? So now I can go and follow him and look at, not just, what he's saying, but how he's saying, how he's delivering that message. And I'm going to get better, right? So the next show that we put together early next year, I'm going to take some cues from Gabe, and I'm going to follow him and learn how to do this stuff. So sometimes you don't know what's possible, right? Until you really get out there. So yeah. So thank you for bringing Gabe to the table, and love having gotten to know him. All right. So my third and final Hotness Unleasher of the week is going to be none other than Julie McVey. And so it's almost the same reason as Melissa Houston, right? Because we met in real life just recently, and there we are. There's proof, right? There's Robert Younger and Beth Henkes and Julie's daughter Oakley. And it's about damn time that Julie is part of the Hotness Unleasher crew, because she's been hanging around since forever. And, she lives in Seattle, which is not too far from me. And I'm able to, to actually meet in real life. And I'll tell you what, she's legit, right? She brings a thoughtfulness, an engagement, support, all the stuff that every other Hotness Unleasher brings, right? She's creative and thoughtful. And so we're sitting at the table having dinner. And I shared on Halloween, or at least Halloween Eve, a story about my house being haunted. And that was fun. It's a fun story. And I pretty much dealt with it by now. But she has some stories that will like literally make your blood run cold. Okay. And they scare the crap out of me, man. I mean, I was having dinner with her and I was like, oh no, that's like, yeah. So I hope that Julie, I don't know, just real and honest and fun and spooky and all that good stuff. And, she was really intent on like, okay, you gotta do this, and this is how we work through that. So I just wanted to shout out Julie. Sorry it took so long to get you into the Hotness Unleasher club, but you are officially here. Do any of you guys know Julie? Have you guys interacted with her at all? Okay. All right. Well, listen.
I have.
Okay.
She's awesome.
I mean, what else can you say, right?
Yeah, exactly. She posts some very insightful, very deep, intriguing posts for sure.
Yes.
Awesome.
Stuff that digs deeper into her
telling her story.
Like, yeah, her how she grapples with being a professional and a human at the same time, right? Well, we have to compartmentalize that. And she's just like, okay, so I'm working through this, right? And puts it out there. And yeah, no, Julie's fantastic. I am better for knowing her, and welcome to the club, Julie. Okay. So the very last Hotness Unleasher of the week is going to come from Kristen. And I'm going to give Kristen a second here to announce. Otherwise, I'm just going to roll with it because we're almost out of time. All right, Kristen, you're almost there. Come on. It is going to be, come on. Now I lost I lost my my slide. Come on, you're in here somewhere. All right, come on. Where are you? All right. Sorry guys, we're a little technical delay because I haven't practiced this this feature of the show yet. We're gonna get there. All right. Come on, Kristen. Stephani Britt. That is who we are going with. There we are. Stephani. Bam. All right, Stephani, you are our last Hotness Unleasher of the week. All right, Kevin, Arwyn, Joelle, have any of you met Stephani yet?
Cool.
Nope.
I don't believe so, no.
All right. Well, now you have. And here's what I want to say about Stephani, because I haven't met her either, right? So this is personal to Kristen. And Kristen, you are welcome. And look, we've already got, so this is what I saw too, right? So she's talking about, she is in that midst of taking those steps, right? That 0 to non-zero action and then moving with it. And I love that. It's so hard sometimes to, we get stuck in where we are and we know we don't want to be there. And yet, an object at rest tends to stay at rest, right? Object in motion tends to stay in motion. How do we move from one state to the next? And I think Stephani gives us a great example of doing that. Right. And it's inspiring to see that. I'm trying to live into that. I'm trying to do that all the time. That's where this Hotness Unleasher show came from. It was just like, hey, I want to do a live. Okay, great. How's that going to happen? I don't know. I need to take a step. And so here we are, and 13 episodes later, this is what it's become. So Stephani, welcome to the Hotness Unleasher show, club, and community. Love having you here. All right. So with that, we're just about done. We got like 1 minute left. Joelle, what are you cooking for the next week? Anything great? Anything awesome?
Yeah, I'll be doing Job Seeker Chatter Day. So that's a LinkedIn Live audio event. I didn't do it this week. I'll do it next week, Saturday, and then possibly every other week, maybe every week, depending on how I'm feeling. Those will be 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. Saturday. So hope to see you there.
Perfect. Thank you, sir. All right, Kevin, what do you got cooking?
Just gonna be doing some more stuff with job seeker support. I'm gonna try and get some more people working, doing some networking stuff. Maybe doing some stuff with Jonathan Lee. See if we can collaborate on some stuff. So
Perfect. That sounds like a great week ahead. Love to hear it. All right, Arwyn, what do you got cooking next week?
Oh, Jesus. I got a resume special that's going on right now, you guys. So it's 50% off. I am offering it through the rest of this month and next month. And I'm also offering it with LinkedIn optimization. So I will go through, I have cheat sheets, and I help you learn the tips and the tricks of beating the algorithms. So
Awesome.
I have that coming up. And also I need senior data quality analysts. So if you're a senior data quality analyst or a senior data quality data scientist or whatever the hell it is, please message me.
Okay. All
I
right,
need to
got
get a
that.
hold of you.
Data quality analyst. Okay, so for me, we'll be producing the final regular episode 14 of the Hotness Unleashers show. So I'll have a lot of energy in there. And then we're going to go into a Thanksgiving Saturday event where everybody who's been a Hotness Unleasher or has been a guest is going to be invited to as big a Zoom call as I can put together. We're all going to announce a single final Hotness Unleasher. So expect a link or something, probably be at the last minute because I'm sort of running that way right now. I got a kiddo who's trying to recover from wisdom teeth pulling, so I'm helping her out. And I'm actually serving on my very first nonprofit board. And I'm going to the inaugural meeting this afternoon. So I am never done that before, and
Congrats.
I'm excited about it. I have no idea what to expect, other than I'm super good friends with the person who's putting it all together. So maybe I'll report on that. All right. So with that. Love you guys. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for being here. And we are going to sign off on the Hotness Unleasher show, episode 13, Recruiter Edition.
Thank you, Joel.